Hey guys, Ivan here at ivanmana.com. In this video, I want to show you how to create a Microsoft Ads shopping campaign. It's going to be a complete step-by-step tutorial as we go through everything and as you watch behind my shoulder. Now, there are two parts to this. First, we have to actually create the Microsoft Merchant Center store. And then second of all, we have to actually create the campaign, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to do everything here. All you have to do is watch this one video and you will be able to have your Microsoft shopping campaign up and running in no time. For those of you that don't know, Microsoft Shopping Campaign is an excellent way to visually show your ads to people. So for example, I typed in buy shorts here into Microsoft Bing. And as you can see, here are some ads on the side. So very visual, you see exactly what they look like. This is especially awesome for visual products, like sometimes for clothes, for example. Search ads aren't gonna tell you what the shirt is gonna look like, but the shopping center ads will. So really cool. Another example here, you have them at the top, so even more visibility. And sometimes they take up the whole kind of top portion here. So not just going halfway, but they actually go like most of the way here, the entire top, okay? So really, really visible, really awesome way to get your ads in front of people. And so this is exactly what I'm gonna show you how to do in this video. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on videos like this, teaching you bits and pieces of how to make money online. That being said, let's get straight into it. So like I said, the first thing we have to do is create a Microsoft Ads store. So head over into your Microsoft Ads account. If you don't have an account, simply go to ads.microsoft.com and sign up. It's a very simple registration process if you don't have an account yet. And then what we're going to do is simply click on Merchant Center right here. Now, I already have one merchant store that I was doing to kind of test this whole thing out. And as you can see here, I got it active. But for you, you might see an option that says to continue forward, you have to create a store. You'll see an option like that. All you're going to do is click on learn more or next, okay? And then you'll see an option. Once you do that, that's going to look something like this. And so what we're going to do here is fill in our details from top to bottom. So entering the store name, validating it, entering a potential description, and I will of course show you how to validate your domain so it shows up here in the dropdown. But let's go from top to bottom. So the first one here is, let's suppose we are doing something like this. I have this sample page that I created on Bounce, just a random product. We're just going to use this as an example. But obviously, whatever store name you have with your products that you want to promote, you would add it here. So in this case, it's called WonderPath Magazine. So let's just add that. Let's say WonderPath Magazine, right? Remember, all of this is just an example. You should be able to just follow along with me here and do the steps with your own site. Now, the next thing we have to do here is validate our domain. Now, we have two options. We can validate it via a UET tag or Bing Webmaster Tools. So let's start off with this first option here, which is recommended, and I recommend it as well, just because it is way faster than this one. What you're gonna do is whatever website you have, you're gonna go into Tools and you're gonna go into UET tag. And I'm just gonna right-click open in a new tab so we don't lose out on this page. And we might have to do it again. Yes, let's go to UET tag. And what we're gonna do is simply add whatever UET tag you have to your page, okay? Now, I already have a bunch of tags here. If you don't have a tag, click on Create UET Tag. Click on Create UET Tag. You're gonna enter a name, and you're gonna click Save. And that's pretty much it. You'll be given the code. I don't wanna create another one. I have way too many of these testing tags. But once you hit Save, you're gonna see an option that looks like this. If you view tag, it'll just pop up like that, okay? So it's the same thing. Again, just enter a name, enter an optional description, and then right off the bat, you'll get this kind of screen, this pop-up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy it. We're gonna click copy. We're gonna copy here. We're gonna click OK. I don't know why it tells us to do it twice. We click here, copy, and then another pop-up comes up. We click copy. Anyway, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go back to this page, and we're gonna add this code to the head section. Okay, so if you followed my videos on remarketing or setting up conversion tracking, you need to set this UET tag up. So if you already have a UET tag on your site, that's all you have to do. But let's imagine we don't. I'm gonna delete this and we're gonna start again. So on Bounce, I'm gonna click on Add New JavaScript, and I'm simply gonna copy this here. I'm gonna say head, and I'm gonna say Microsoft Ads UET tag. If you're not using Unbounce, that's okay. Whatever builder you're using, guys, find the JavaScript option where you add the code and make sure you add this code in the head section. So for example, if you're using ClickFunnels, you would simply go to settings at the top and then go into tracking code and you add this in the head section. If you're using WordPress, you can use any sort of plugins, or if you go to the source code for your entire WordPress site, you would just add and paste this into the head section. If you're not sure what I'm talking about at all, I would suggest you contact your developer. If you're not sure where to find this JavaScript section, I don't want you guys to break your website. But if you do know where the JavaScript section is, that's what you're going to do. That's how you verify. You add this code that they provide you, this UET tag, onto your site because Microsoft has to verify. And if you, again, are not sure what I'm talking about, you have no idea what the header or head is or what JavaScript is at all, I would contact your developer and get somebody to help you out to put this on your site because you have to do this to verify, all right? So once you're done, we're going to click done and we're going to hit save. We're going to click republish. And that is pretty much it for this part. So we can close out of the UET tag. We see here that the page is live, got it, and this is the page. Now, here's the catch, all right? What I've been told by the Microsoft Ads reps is that you have to get 50 visits to your website after adding the UET tag before it can show up here, all right? And of course, it's going to take some time. So for the purpose of this example, we can't use this website today in this video because it's going to take 12 to 24 hours or so to have it show up here. But what you're going to do is on your website, after you add the UET tag, make sure you hit save. So you add the tag, you hit save. You're just going to refresh this page 50 times. Yes, I said it. You can do more if you want to, and trust me, it's not going to take you that long, or depending on your internet speed. For me, see here, it's a quick page. This will take probably a minute to do 50 times. So what you're going to do is just hit refresh 50 times. I know it sounds crazy, but just to be safe, that's what the Microsoft reps told me. You have to refresh the page 50 times, and it should show up here within 12 to 24 hours. For me, what happened is I put it on about midday. I put my UET tag on my website about midday, and then I didn't see it on the entire rest of the day. I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I did see my website here under this option, okay? So that's what you want to do. Simply refresh this 50 times, wait 12 to 24 hours or so, and then you should see your website show up here, and we can keep going. Now, if you don't want to go with this option, you can go with this one. I don't like using Bing Webmaster Tools because for me, it took about 2 to 3 days for it to show up. So definitely much longer. You can, however, go with that if you don't want to use the UET tag for some reason. You still have to add the code though. So if you go to bing.com/webmasters, you're just going to add your URL. That's going to be the first thing they're going to ask you. You're going to add your URL. You're going to add the name of the site, things like that. And then they're going to ask you to verify the site. So they're going to give you a meta code. And all you're going to do is come back in here and add the code in the head section, just like we did here. So pretty much the exact same thing, just it's going to be for this Bing Webmaster Tools, okay? So if you want to go that route, you definitely can. Again, I don't suggest it. It's just going to take way longer for it to show up, but you can if you want to. Just as a little bonus, I believe they do send you a $100 credit to your Microsoft Ads account if you use Bing Webmaster Tools for the first time. So if you want to take advantage of that, maybe you're okay to wait, you can do that. Or you can do both. You can sign up for Bing Webmaster, and while you wait, you can set up the UET tag, okay? So these are your options to verify the site. So once you do that, you'll be able to select your URL from the dropdown. Like I said, we just added this code here, so it's not going to show up. But for the purpose of this example, we're just going to go with builderall.com. But imagine this is your URL, okay? It doesn't matter what URL this is. You can add a description if you want. So for example, we are promoting an awesome new magazine, something like that. You do have to enable SSL checkout. I frankly don't know why this is here. It's not like Microsoft has any control of your site because it says use SSL. It's not like if you say yes, then Microsoft's going to automatically enable SSL on your website. That's not really how it works. But based on the research I've done, this was added like back at the very beginning of when this Microsoft Center was first created in Microsoft Ads, and it kind of stuck there, I guess. So this is kind of old school. But make sure you select yes, because otherwise your ads can't run with the shopping campaign, all right? We're going to click next. And over here, so aggregators, again, I wasn't able to find too much information on this, but aggregators are basically third-party websites that can include your products in their feeds and in their ads. I'm not sure why they would do that, but that's what they are. So if you don't want them to include your products on their ads, you can just click on block aggregators. I would probably leave it off and just see how it goes first. And then, if I'm seeing that I'm getting a lot of irrelevant clicks with really bad traffic, then I would probably block it. But for the time being, I would probably just keep this off just because it's a little extra exposure, right? So now we're going to go next. You can enter your email if you want more information about new features, practices, but you don't have to. And so you're just going to click on Create Store, all right? Because that part's optional. And now if you go to Manage Stores, you have two stores. So we have the WonderPath magazine and the store that I created earlier. So once you create the store, you have to actually add a feed. And a feed is where you add your items to. So you're going to go to Feeds. You're going to use this one, but it's probably easier to just create feed. And you can select an option. So you can import a feed from Google Ads if you already have a Google Ads Merchant Center. You can automatically download from a specific URL. You can upload via FTP, SFTP. I'm not familiar with these two, quite frankly. So if you know what they mean, great. What this will allow you to do is every month, for example, it's going to automatically upload a file. So here, weekly, monthly, daily. So if you make changes on your feed, like on your Excel sheet, for example, it's gonna automatically update it here as well. So you don't have to do it manually every time you make updates to your products. But like I said, I never really use these options here. So what we're gonna do is go with this manual upload option. And you're simply gonna add your file here, okay? You're gonna browse. So you're gonna enter the feed name, you're gonna enter what type of product it is, and the country of sale. So this is gonna be the currency. All right, so it's not available in every country, but let's suppose your product is in USD. It's sold in US dollars, you would select US, okay? So this part is important. If it's Canadian dollars, you would select Canada, and so on. You would select the language. Now, in terms of actually uploading this, you might be thinking, well, what kind of file do I upload? How do I do this? So I have prepared a little Excel sheet for you can use, and I'm gonna share it with you in the description beneath this video, okay? So I'm gonna make it super, super simple for you, but you can also click over here, submit the file, and you can learn a little bit more as to how you create the file, how do I create a feed, all that stuff, okay? So you can learn about it, everything here. Now, unlike Google Ads, where they give you an Excel sheet with all the required information, Microsoft Ads doesn't have that. So you kind of have to go through the required attributes here yourself, and you have to fill them in. Now, like I said, what I've done is I have created this for you of all the required fields, and I'm going to share this with you. So all you're going to do is copy this, save it on your end, and you will be able to simply fill in the blanks, okay? But let's just quickly go through some of the fields here. So all of these fields that I added here, all of them are required, or at least these ones are. These ones are, this shipping one is required only if you are in Austria and Germany, okay? Everything else is required no matter what country you are in. And let's just go through a few more things here. Over here, you have other fields. So if you are assigned like an MPN value or assigned a GTIN value, you're going to simply add it over here. And you can use this URL as a reference. So if you go ahead and Control-C it to copy and you paste it back in here, you will see this exact same option. So I included everything here for you in the sheet. So you can use it, go through it, look at the optional fields, all that stuff. But like I said, all of this is required, all right? So what you're gonna do when you open this sheet that I gave for you is don't try to edit anything here. This is view only, all right? What you're gonna do is click File, you're gonna click Download, and you're gonna download this as an Excel file, okay? So make sure you have Excel, you're gonna download this as an Excel file, and then what you're gonna do, here is gonna be your file. This one you will be able to edit and make changes to. It's important that once you make all the necessary changes, you're gonna go to File, you're going to click on Save As, and then you want to save this as a text tab delimited. So this option here, okay? So once you're done making all the changes, you have to save it as a tab delimited right here. It has to be a TXT file. Unlike Google Ads, where you can submit an Excel file sheet, with Microsoft Ads, it has to be TXT, okay? So once you're fully done editing everything, save it as a TXT file. Now, how you actually do this is you're just gonna enter in the information. So for you, you probably wanna delete all that, okay? Well, we can, or actually no, let's just do it over here. So what you can do, if you're unsure what those options mean, is go over here and just read through it. So what is an ID? Well, it's a unique identifier. So here it's, for example, it's using ISI1. It tells you information about it. So for example, for your product, you would maybe enter, I don't know if that's an L or an I, let's say ISI, let's say 2, for example, okay? For your product, you would do that. Then for the title, you would say, we're promoting this magazine thing, whatever it is, Wonder Path magazine. So you're gonna say Wonder Path magazine. You're gonna enter a URL link. So this is gonna be your link. I'm gonna Control C to copy. We're gonna come back here, we're gonna paste it, make sure it is secure, all right? It has to be secure, so if you're using Unbounce, make sure you have a custom domain, not just Unbounce pages. But for the purpose of this video, we're just gonna keep it at this because this domain is actually unsecure, so I cannot put HTTPS here for this example. Next, you're gonna put the price. So if you recall, over here, we set the country of sale. So this is gonna be your currency. So unlike Google Ads, where you put in like 199 USD, you cannot do that here with Microsoft Ads. So you can only put the price. So for example, $5.99. And depending on the currency that you set, or the country of sale that you set, that is going to be your currency. All right, so let's say $5.99. You can add a description. So you could say, awesome magazine about wondering stuffs. I have no idea. You do need an image link. So if you use certain websites, like I think it's tinypig.com or so, you can convert any image into a URL and you would add that URL here. Or if you're using WordPress, you would have a library in WordPress where they would give you the specific part of the site where your images are hosted. So you would just add that here. But again, for the purpose of this example, no, we don't want to do that. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it here. Okay. And that is all we need. I am in Canada, not in Austria or Germany, so I will not include the shipping value here. And again, if you're unsure what the shipping value is, for example, you can go ahead and click copy that and paste it. And let's see, hey, what is the shopping value? Let's see. What is this? Well, it is, or shipping, not shopping. It is the cost of shipping. Okay. So you're going to enter the price. And you can also enter the country here in this case. So for this one, you can enter the country. For the other price, you cannot. So that is how you fill in this feed. So let's say we're happy. I'm going to save this first as an Excel file. I'm going to save it as an Excel. And then I'm going to file. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go over here and I will save it as a tab delimited now. So I'm going to save it as tab delimited. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to replace the existing file. And you can disregard this option. That's fine. But what you're going to do now is we can close out of that. Over here, you're going to browse your file and you're going to simply attach it. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I found my file and I simply attached it here and I'm going to click on create feed. And that is pretty much it. Oops, we have to enter this. I think it was Wonder Path magazine, online product. Yes, let's say create feed. And that is it. Our feed is going to be here. It's going to be automatically reviewed by the Microsoft Ads team. You can also do the same thing for this one, like I said. So instead of creating a new feed, you could have clicked here and just update feed, but I thought it better to click on create feed specifically, so you can get the feel that you're actually creating a new feed. But it's up to you again if you want to just click here and click update feed and do that. And by the way, if you do want to update your feed, so let's say you make changes, you added new products or you change the price, you can click over here, you can click update feed and you can update your new feed, your new Excel file, all right? And that's the process. And it says here that it's pending. You can see more details as to what you did. But we're going to go back. So that is pretty much it for that. Now, if you go to summary, you will see all the issues here, all right? So let me quickly go to my other store to show you what it's roughly going to look like. If we go to this Ivan Mana store, you might see a little triangle over here. And this just means caution. This does not mean error. So your product can still be approved even if you don't have the brand and GTIN or brand and NPN values. And that's because, like I said, these values are required only if you are given them, as you saw on this article page that I linked for you. Okay, so this is like a caution, like saying that, hey, if you have these values, add them, but if you don't, then that's okay. As you can see here, my listing and my feed is still active, it's still approved. However, if you see issues here in circles, like there's going to be an issue instead of a triangle, it's going to be a circle, then you want to address them. So you might see things like, hey, your website isn't secure. You might see things like, hey, your image link is missing, or hey, your description is missing. In that case, you want to go back into your feed. You want to address the issues, whatever it's going to tell you what to change. And then you want to upload the feed again. So you're going to go back into feeds. You're going to go over here and you're just going to click on update feed again. Okay. And over here, it says it is successful. So it looks like it has been approved. But let's go to summary and see if there's any issues. Oh, sorry, that's for the other store. So if we go over here, yeah, this one's probably not. I was thinking, how could it be approved so fast? Yeah, so then you would go in here and you would make the changes here. Yeah, and this one was, yeah, and this makes sense that it's rejected probably because it's a fake product, doesn't exist. If we go to summary, let's see if there's anything. Not yet, but you will see issues here, okay? So give it a little bit of time, and it's probably gonna say the same thing as we did in my other store, plus some other things like, hey, the website isn't secure, which is not, you know, that's a big issue for them, or the price doesn't match, things like that, all right? But anyway, that's the process. That is how you create the store and add the feed. Now, there is one more thing we have to do, and that is actually create the Merchant Center shopping campaign. So what we're gonna do is click back here on this Microsoft logo, and we're gonna create campaign. And the create campaign process is now really simple once you actually create the store. So you're gonna click on sell products from your catalog. You're gonna select standard shopping. Once you get conversion tracking and once you get some data, you'll be able to select this option. But you're gonna start with that. And you can select search ads or audience ads. Audience ads is like native advertising where your shopping ads can show up on other different websites or just Bing search sites. So like it's gonna be Bing, AOL, I think Yahoo, things like that. You can use that. So we're just gonna go with search. That is what's gonna show up here when somebody actually types something in. However, you can go with audience as well. We're gonna click on next. And this is just gonna be one page here that we're gonna fill in, all right? Just one page, we're gonna go from top to bottom. So here we can say this is gonna be our Wonder Path magazine. You can use campaign settings from another campaign. You can set a budget. The higher your budget, the faster you're going to get the data. You're able to set your bid strategy over here. So I do suggest enhanced CPC. You're basically going to be paying as much as you set your bid, but if Microsoft sees that sometimes it can get you a click for a little bit more than the maximum that you set, then it's going to do that, all right? So you can go with this option. The other option is this one, where you do in fact set the maximum you're willing to pay. But the issue is that you cannot control this at the individual keyword level, for example. You will only be able to do this at the campaign level. So that's why I don't like this option. It doesn't give me as much control. I'm going to go with this. If you have conversion data enabled, you can go with target return on ad spend. You can do that. But we're going to go with enhanced CPC, assuming you don't have any conversion data. You can choose when you want your ads to run. You can choose specific days, like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, if you want to do that. Whatever you want to do. We can scroll down, you can see ad distribution. So here's where you set where you want your ads to show up specifically. So this is still going to be searched. This isn't going to be on like different websites like NHL.com. This is still going to be shown only on search networks like Bing, AOL, and Yahoo. But you can say whether you want it only on Bing, AOL, and Yahoo, or you want it on their partners only, or everyone. And their partners are going to be like DuckDuckGo, for example. That's going to be a syndicated search partner. So you can select where you want your shopping ads to show up. Next, we're going to scroll down. Campaign priority is if you have the same products in multiple different campaigns, you will be able to set what the priority is. Like if you have one campaign with, shoes and another campaign with the same shoes and shorts, like which campaign do you want to be shown up more? Because both of them have shoes, which one is more important to? So that's where you set this. We only have one campaign, we can leave it at low, but this is how this works. Once you set up your store, you should see it here. So you will be able to, here's the store that we created, Wonder Path Magazine. Here's my other store, so you can select this. And then you can select by all products, you can show everything, or by specific products based on categories. So for example, based on brand, based on condition, based on ID, like whatever the ID of your product is that you set. Remember you set the ID? You can add it here, okay? I'm just gonna go with all products. Like I said, this is just a test, so we're just gonna keep it simple. Country, region of sale, so make sure this matches whatever country, region of sale you selected once you actually created the store. Remember when we set the feed, I told you what the currency would be. So this is where you would set that same currency that you did when creating the feed. So I think for us it was Canada. I don't remember Canada or US, but whatever currency you're selling in, that's what you wanna make sure you have. Here's the bid. How much are you going to be paying per click? Like I said, if you selected the enhanced CPC option, you will be potentially paying a little bit more than 5 cents if Microsoft deems that it can get you a click for that amount, a little bit more than 5 cents. Now, this is where you actually set the targeting. So don't be confused. This is what your currency is and kind of where your main base of operations is, where you're selling from. Whereas this is what you want to target. Where do you want to sell? So here you can target, like I said, again, I always like to go with tier 1 countries. You can go with tier 1. So you can go United States, Australia. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but let's just say these 3 countries. You can select whatever you want. You can select people in your location or people viewing for. We're just going to go with this option here. I go through, some of these options in very thorough detail in my Microsoft Ads course at ivanmana.com/all-courses. I don't cover shopping campaigns per se in that course, but I cover search campaigns, and a lot of these things here, they are intertwined with search, like device bidding, location bidding, bidding in general, things like that. So that's pretty much it for that. You can set specific bid adjustments. You can set device bid adjustments, increase, decrease by a certain percentage if you know that one of them performs better than the other, and so on. And you're going to click save, and that is pretty much it. So here's our campaign. It does say product offers not found because it's still under review, but after review, you should see it up and running. So if you click on the specific campaign, make sure you click on the specific one because the shopping ads settings here on the sidebar are a little bit different. So for example, ads and extensions, you're not going to see your specific ad like you would with search ads. You can't really tell what your ad's going to look like. The best way to tell would be to actually type in some keywords related to what you're selling into Bing.com and just see for yourself. Also, you cannot add any keywords, so you can add negative keywords, but Microsoft is going to automatically use keywords that it sees are related to your description and your headline, which is why it's important to write a very thorough and relevant description and headline, because that is what Microsoft is going to use as hints as to what you're selling, because you cannot add keywords as you can with a regular search campaign. You can, however, add negative keywords, and you can see search terms. So what you can do is you can monitor and see what are people typing in to arrive and to see your ads. And if you see that it's something completely irrelevant, then you can go into negative keywords and add them as negatives. But you cannot add specific keywords like you would with regular search campaigns, just because that's what the title and description is for, and you're kind of leaving everything up to Microsoft. So that is pretty much it, guys. This is how you create a Microsoft shopping campaign from start to finish. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoy videos like this, definitely check out my YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com and you type in Ivan Mana, I give you guys so much free content you can go through, so many things you can learn to improve your online marketing game and start making money online. Also, if you haven't received my affiliate marketing guide, check it out at ivanmana.com. It's a free 55-page affiliate marketing guide teaching you everything you have to know about affiliate marketing and how to start making money with it potentially today. All right. So I hope this video was helpful for you. You should now have a very thorough understanding of how to create this Microsoft Ads shopping campaign, and I will see you in the next video.